What up guys, it's VG Punk. For the people who is planning to start playing Vanguard, here's a list of beginner decks that is perfect for new players. Please keep in mind that this list is made before the Try 3 trial decks, so if you're watching this in the future, there may be changes. Beside that, let's get into it. Speaking of the Try 3 trial decks, the first one we have is Altmile. This archetype is from the Royal Paladin clan, which is one of the most supported clan in the game. The specialty of this deck is to use up all of its counterblast in order to gain more power and defensive capability. It's pretty straightforward with great consistency with the grade 2 searcher such as Liverot and Altmile himself. But if his bundle with app is not your thing, we also have Asha. She is from the Neo Nectar clan, which have great previous support with cards like Cecilia and Sylvia. However, Asha can stand on her own with her special Flower Fairy token. These tokens can copy the Vanguard power and crit when they attack. So if you attack with the Vanguard and get triggers and gave it to the Vanguard, the Flower Fairy token will also get it when it attacks. If you can't wait for these two trial decks, then there are one that's already out, and that is Kurian from the Genesis clan. This archetype collects multiple imaginary force gifts in order to gain an astral plane through the skill of the two Uranus units and Australia Dragon. On an astral plane, you can call for the only grade 5 in the whole game, Valkyrion. With Valkyrion, you can attack for high power and high amount of drive checks. If you don't want to buy trial decks and want to build your deck from scratch, there's also some affordable options. The Soul Saver Dragon variant is a great way to start. It is another Royal Paladin deck, but its playstyle is completely different from Altmile. While Altmile used up the counterblast, Soul Saver Dragon used up the soul in order to power up his allies. A little story about this deck is that I actually built it for a friend who is a complete beginner. However, it was so easy that she used it to beat me and another friend of ours while we were using rogue and high tier decks. With Soul Saver Dragon, she beat me while I was using the Neo Nectar deck with Cecilia, and my other friend was using a Akuma deck. But moving on from that, we have the Respite Brothers next. This clan is filled with demon football players that charge at your opponent with high power. And in order to achieve those high power, they have the exclusive ability to move their force gift around with units such as the Ranged Thaddeus and Dead Heat Bullspike. And with these two cards, you can also get free retire in order to disrupt your opponent's field. But even without the force gift, this deck can still achieve high power through cards like Braki and and Dragger. But if you aren't into the demon football player aesthetic, we also have Dimension Police, which is filled with mecha. Their specialty is to pump up your Vanguard with Die Liner while giving your grade 3 defensive capabilities. With units such as Platinum Ace and Great Dayusha, you can benefit off of having a powerful Vanguard and punch through your opponent's walls. All the decks I listed so far has been rather simple with their game plan, so I understand if veteran card game players are turned off by that. But for those that come from games like Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh!, there are some decks that is perfect for you. The first is Murakumo, which is a ninja clan, but more yokai-like. The specialty of this clan is to neg your opponent with powerful grade 3s such as Hyuga and Zenbaku, while still building some field presence. This clan is also the home of the Shiryu engine with Shirayuki, Shokotsu Girl, and Rainy Madame in order to cripple your opponent during their turn and your turn as well. This engine was so powerful that Shirayuki has to be limited to 1, yet the engine is still being played today. But if you're a real veteran player, I dare you to try to build a deck for weasels. But that's beside the point. The next deck in mind is Grand Blue. These zombie pirates work very similar to the zombie deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! They can revive dead units from the drop zone using Cocytus and Basker. And while they do that, they can easily set up the drop zone in order to finish the game with units such as Violent Flinger and Skull Dragon. Now for the fortunate few that have money to spend, there's also some easy to pilot decks that's a little higher on the financial spectrum. The first one is Kagero, which is the blue-eye white dragon of Vanguard. This clan can restand their Vanguard multiple times with all of the Dragonic Overlord variant. While doing that, it can destroy the opponent's field with cards such as Dragonic Blade Master and Berserk Dragon. Now, if you want to play Royal Paladin but you wish they were a little darker in their color scheme, you can play the Shadow Paladin. Mordred Phantom can restand the Rested Blaster Dart and give them powers so you have great multi-attack. And then you can boost the consistency of that combo with Masquerade and Skullwitch Nemen. And finally, the last recommendation I have for those special few player, we have the Bermuda Triangle. While this clan have many variants to them, I highly recommend the Coral engine or the Melody engine. With Coral, you can power up units with Coral in their name when you Soul Blast many times in one turn, which make it very similar to the Soul Saver Dragon deck from earlier. On the other hand, the Melody engine allows you to build high power columns by having the Melody's card copying each other's effect. Special thanks to my friend James and Jason for helping me with this list. Comment below and tell me which of these decks that you're interested in trying out if you're a new Vanguard player, or if there's already a deck you have in mind that you want to use that's not on the list. Yeah, do that and subscribe for more Vanguard content.